The Extract 3D Curve command and the Outline 3D Curve command are used to create a 3D curve from existing geometry in the scene. For example, with the Extract Curve command, we simply select on geometry. It can be individual edges like this or an entire face. Then we click OK, and it will extract a 3D curve from that geometry. You can see now if I move this curve, we can see it out to the side there. Note you can also get to the Extract 3D Curve command when you select down to a face. You can then right click and select Create Extract 3D Curve, as you can see there. The Outline 3D Curve does things a little bit differently in that when you use that, it'll produce the outline from a certain direction. So for example, I'll select this as our body on the Outline curve, and I'll select this as our direction. And I might reverse that direction with this button here. Now essentially what it's going to do is create an outline of our part from this direction. Because it's a 3D curve though, you'll notice something interesting around the wheel arch here. It won't create a 2D outline just of that face, it will create a 3D outline. So I'll click OK, and as you can see, if we now move this outline into space, we can see the outline has just included everything it sees from that direction. And of course, because those lines are facing inward, they're perpendicular, it doesn't actually see those lines. It doesn't actually create those lines there. It's an outline of what it sees in 3D space, as opposed to in the 2D space or 2D plane there. One great use for extracting 3D curves is with shapes like this, and then with the Ironcare Mechanical steels. For example here, I'll switch to Extract Curve and I'll extract this face again so we have that 3D curve there. Then I'm going to hide the solid geometry I had. Now I'm going to go into the IC Mech tools here. I'm going to select on my 3D curve and then drag and drop out a steel onto that curve. Now I can go in and choose a size, but actually in this case, this option here is probably actually pretty good, 50 mil. Maybe we'll change it down to 40 mil. Change the thickness up to 2. And as you can see here, we've got this checkbox, which is already checked, which says place steels along selected 3D path. I'm going to leave that one checked. And now you'll see why it's useful to create a 3D curve here. I'll now click OK. As you can see, it's going to go ahead and build the steel around that curve and then automatically trim it at each corner. You can see and follow the mouse here as it goes to each corner and trims that corner. It's at this corner now, it's at this corner now, and we've also got the process showing down the bottom left here. So we'll go through and process those corners for us and create nice trim joins there. And there we go. Now we can zoom in and see that. And you can see with this creation, we actually created it at the center. So the 3D curve is at the center of the steel, but we can actually offset it as well. So if I undo that and delete that, I'll do the same thing, but this time I'll create an offset. So for example, I'll drag it onto here, and then I'll offset it to the side. I'll actually zoom in and attach the tribal to that edge and then also to this top face. Now that it's in the corner, I'll then change this position to be offset like that. Now I'll hit OK, and as you'll see, it will now go in and create it using that offset as its basis. Go through and trim the corners. As you can see, they're being trimmed here. And there we have it, created offset from that 3D curve. That's how to use the Extract Curve command.